What's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 6 of the Veritas Podcast. I'm producer Scott Fowler with Palmetto Moose Productions, and I'm here with owner and physician Dr. Lachin Hatemi. How's it going, Dr. Hatemi?
Good. Great day today.
So today our episode is going to talk a little bit about what it's like to work at an urgent care. So Dr. Hatemi, let's open up with how your day begins before you get to work. Like, what time do you normally get up in the morning?
I get up around, it depends on the day, but I usually get up around 7:30, exercise, I grab some coffee, take a shower, get ready, and come to work around 8:15.
So you're up and early, ready to rock, and out the door. And what time does the clinic usually open?
Our clinic actually opens at 8, but by the time the patients register and then be ready to be seen, it will be probably around 8:30, like 8:25, 8:30.
Before you start seeing them?
Yeah, before I start seeing them.
So most days, are there people already in the waiting room?
Oh yeah, I mean, usually there's 4 or 5 people just come first thing in the morning. So yeah, there's actually usually a lot of people waiting at the door before we even open the doors.
So about how many patients would you say you see a day?
So urgent care is a cyclical business. It's much busier during the flu season and slower in the summer. But this summer is kind of unusual because we are seeing very heavy volumes. This summer we see like 50 to 60 patients a day, a little bit less on the weekends. But the flu season comes to South Carolina probably in a month or so. It will be 100 patient days, maybe more actually.
Get your flu vaccine, right?
I recommend the flu vaccine. We already seen a couple of cases of the flu, flu A and flu B both. I would say probably 4 or 5 cases. It's still very little, but it's here. So it arrived in our territory, so be ready. Flu will be a chaos when the schools open. Usually when all the schools kids come together, they give it to each other, so there will be a big spike in flu cases probably in a week or 2.
So what type of people do you generally see get the flu? Like, who gets sick the most? Is there any similarities?
Usually kids are the ones that start early. Anybody can get the flu. I mean, there's no age group, but usually people hang out with larger groups of people. Usually kids bring them home and then give it to their family members, their parents, but usually it starts with the kids.
So who are your favorite type of clients to see?
Well, every client is different. You know, urgent care, we see a huge range of medical conditions. If I pick one that's my favorite is actually urinary tract infections, and because it's so easy to diagnose and easy to treat, and it's very rewarding because with few antibiotics and even a shot of antibiotic, you can cure somebody's problem that gives them considerable stress and cause a lot of discomfort. And UTIs are easy to treat, so I love UTIs.
Yeah, UTIs are not fun, and a lot of guys don't know, but all you ladies out there listening, y'all completely understand what we're talking about.
Vast majority of UTI patients, probably 90 to 95% are females. Since we opened this topic, I want to discuss some couple things about the UTIs. You know, people ask me how they can prevent from getting UTIs. I told them hydration, drinking a lot of water. Also, take cranberry pills every day. That makes a huge impact on how many UTIs you get. So I recommend investing in cranberry pills and take them religiously every day, like your multivitamins. Also, drinking a lot of water before sex, so you peed out all the bacteria after sex, intercourse. That makes a huge difference. Also hydration and going to bathrooms frequently, especially during traveling. Women get it all the time.
So it's interesting you say cranberry extract because when I went to the Stem Cell Institute in Panama, they actually prescribed us cranberry extract as part of the stem cells. And I think it was to reduce inflammation.
Yes, there's a certain chemical in the skin of the cranberry, and that prevents bacteria to attach itself to the wall of the urethra and climb up to your bladder. So it prevents that climbing action. So if you take cranberry pills every day, it's going to significantly reduce your chance of getting a UTI. And it's much better than cranberry juice because you get more bucks for the money. I mean, you get much more concentrate from the pill than you can get
Sure, you'd
drinking
have
cranberry.
to drink so much cranberry juice.
Absolutely, and
it would
you
be
know,
impossible to get the concentrate you can get.
absolutely.
From a pill.
Logistically, it's very difficult to stuck on the cranberry juice and drink it every day. So make it easy on you, cranberry pills all day long.
So let's go back to what you were talking about in the morning. Do you take any supplements or vitamins yourself?
I do. I take multivitamin every day, and I take magnesium pills every day when I wake up. I drink coffee, a double shot espresso every morning to wake up. I love coffee, so don't judge me on that one.
Well, they say caffeine helps you live longer.
Oh yeah, caffeine. Another thing actually helps you concentrate is nicotine.
It's a nootropic.
It is. It's a nootropic. As long as you don't take the nicotine from the cigarettes, which causes cancer, you can actually take nicotine pills to improve your performance, improve your concentration, your acumen. It helps you concentrate. So it helps the brain function quite a bit.
So those are the only thing you take. It's just multivitamin
Multivitamins and magnesium.
and magnesium. Interesting. So I take a lot of supplements every day. So I take a B complex every day, so B100, and I take about 10,000 IUs of D. Then I take zinc. I take a whole lot of omega-3s. I take a C, and then I take, I'm pronouncing it wrong, but L-carnitine, LC, and then L-arginine, LA.
Essential amino acids, yes.
And so the reason I take those two and the B vitamins is because heart disease runs rampant in my family. So I'm trying to do everything I can to help my cardiovascular system. Also, my grandfather had prostate cancer, so I take Pygium every day, which helps for the prostate. And I also take lion's mane every day. And what lion's mane has shown is that it can help reconnect synapses in your brain and really can help brain function as well. So I think that one's pretty interesting. Then I also take turmeric, which is for its anti-inflammatory.
Absolutely. Well, most of these are in my diet. I mean, turmeric is in the Turkish cuisine. I consume it anyways. Omega-3s, I try to eat a lot of salmon every day. So I get my omega-3s through the salmon.
You're doing it the right way.
I mean, I try to take less pills. I consume a lot of fruits and vegetables. And also drink a protein shake every day. I buy from Costco, so that includes a lot of the minerals
I
and
also
the protein.
drink a protein shake. I don't prefer the taste of whey protein. I like the ones without the whey.
I did whey protein. It's cheaper, but
It is cheaper.
Yeah, some people don't like the whey, but I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me a whole lot. On top of that, I consume. The protein shake, which has everything in it. Multivitamins also have it. But B12, you mentioned B12. I take the shots because I have.
So you got it. Yeah.
So I'm a little spoiled. I have access to B12 shots in my clinic. So whenever I remember, I give myself a shot of B12. So I don't need to spend a lot of money in a med spa to get it.
Yeah, I know someone who almost died because of clot based on low B vitamins.
B vitamins and vitamin D is very important. It becomes more important after the research we did for COVID. And it's very strange. The research came out of Scandinavian countries. And when COVID came, they saw a large percentage higher mortality rates among African population who are refugees in Scandinavia. And they looked into it, why these people are dying in much larger number than local Scandinavians. It was a unique circumstances. So you have a darker skin population, so they need much higher sun exposure to produce the same amount of vitamin D. Also, they are living in a country when there's not much sunlight. So they are coming from Africa, have plenty of sun, coming to Scandinavia, barely seeing sun. And that population examined to be very deficient in vitamin D. Therefore, their immune system was weak. So when they encountered COVID, they were actually dying much larger numbers. And then they found out if they correct that deficiency, they were actually doing much better. So they found out the significance of vitamin D to help your immune system. So it's important.
Studies show 75% of the U.S. population is deficient and vitamin D.
Absolutely. We are lucky. We are in South Carolina, so we get a lot of sun.
Mm-hmm.
So in that respect, we are very lucky. But we should still consume vitamin D in our diet to be able to produce it. So yogurt is a big one. I'm a big proponent of yogurt if you can tolerate it. Yogurt is a great way of getting calcium, vitamin D, and all your essential protein, amino acids.
Yeah, and probiotics.
Probiotics also. So I recommend everybody to eat one packet of Chobani yogurt or any kind of Greek yogurt. You will not regret it. That's a huge health benefit.
Yeah, I love Chobani yogurt, Greek yogurt. It just tastes better, and then it also has a lot of extra benefits.
Absolutely, and it takes like 1 gallon of milk to produce a small cup of yogurt.
Really?
So I don't know many people who can drink a whole gallon of milk, but they can eat a cup of yogurt. So do yourself a favor, eat your yogurt every day too, especially if you're worried about your gut health. Yogurt is one of the best things you can do, especially for females, because of the calcium content too.
Yeah, I drink this other drink every day. It's a green drink. It's called Amazing Grass, and it's got a lot of probiotics in it, and then it's got a large mixture of barley and wheatgrass, and it tastes like dirt, basically.
Amazing Greens, you said?
Yes.
I looked into it. I mean, it's great product. Just the cost, it's literally on the expensive
it's
side.
very expensive, yeah. It's about $1 or more a day.
Oh yeah,
So,
I mean,
that does add up because the big tub that I buy is like $75.
Yeah,
it's expensive.
I think Huberman Labs, they were talking about the Amazing Greens.
Yes.
They were promoting it.
Yeah.
It's a great product if you have the money. So
yeah, I suggest it to folks all the time because I really do enjoy taking it.
So how much is it?
So for
Green blends is
30 servings is $40.
Not too bad.
And then the 100 servings is still like $100.
I mean,
$99.
I will tell all my patients, like, you rather spend your money on supplements and food than coming to my office and spending on me. It's always better to prevent from diseases from happening than treating them after the fact.
Yeah, so it's got wheatgrass, barley grass, alfalfa, spinach, spirulina, I don't know, and then chlorella, I believe, cracked cell wall, and then broccoli. On top of that, it's got a green tea caffeine in it. And then it's got another antioxidant blend with rose hips, pineapple, carrot, celery extract, matcha roots, acai berry, beets, raspberry, and then it's got a fiber blend. I've been drinking this and taking all those supplements every day for almost 10 years now.
Do you mix it with anything to change the taste, or
yes.
you just?
So originally I would mix it with a little bit of lemonade to give it some sugar because that really helps. But now I just mix it with a LaCroix or seltzer water. Okay. With a little bit of that, and it tastes much better because it does
spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's really bad if you drink it by itself. But also on top of that, I take collagen every day. So I put the collagen from Costco and mix that with my green drink. And if I don't take, what's great about the collagen is 1 scoop has 10 grams of pure protein in it.
Nice.
And so 2 scoops, it's a small dose, has 20 grams of protein, and I mix that with my green drink. And I can literally tell with my face, if I don't take it for a couple days, my face gets a little shrunken up. Yeah. It really does help my skin stay loosened. And because I have psoriasis, which is an autoimmune disorder, that's why I'm taking all of these supplements every day, and I've been doing it for years, because if I don't, I do notice the difference.
Also, another topic that first thing you wake up, your body is very dehydrated, so you need to drink tons of water, about 20 to 25 ounces of water first thing you wake up.
Yeah, it helps you wake up.
Yeah.
It literally is like drinking a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I highly recommend with your coffee drink a lot of water, because 70% of your brain is water. So you just being hydrated makes you just function much better, helps with your circulation and helps with everything. So start your day very well hydrated, because you'll be surprised how much water you lose throughout the night during your sleep. So waking up, drinking water, you start your day the right way, and it makes the rest of the day much more productive and much healthier.
Absolutely. And then how often would you say you exercise?
I exercise quite a bit. I don't take a long time to exercise. I do in spurts. So in the morning I do weights. At night when I go home, I ride my Peloton for 10 miles and 15 miles last night. Sometimes I go in the mornings I do deadlifts.
Yes.
I love deadlifts.
Deadlifts and squats.
Deadlifts and squats. I didn't build up my squat rack yet, but I'm doing deadlifts right now. I like it because it gives me a burst of testosterone.
Yes, it's an amazing compound movement.
Oh yeah, it's a compound movement, so it works a lot of muscles. You know,
Every
your
part of
core
your
muscles, your quads, your glutes. I mean, it's just a great exercise. You know, a lot of people are scared of doing deadlifts, but I think it's my favorite exercise overall.
I miss lifting weights every morning with a group of guys at about 6 a.m. So, JP, if you're watching this, I need to come back.
Yeah. I mean...
Hot Works, I go to 3, 4, 5 times a week, but it's really cardio and body weight exercises. I really need to start picking heavy things up, putting them back down. I really need to lift weights.
Peloton was a good... I've been looking for a Peloton for almost 2 years, and I never could convince myself to spend that much money.
Yeah, they're like $2,000 to get started.
Yeah,
right?
they're expensive. They're $2,000, and you know, I couldn't make... I don't know why I couldn't get it. I didn't want to get it. But then somebody was selling his Peloton for $600.
Hey, that's a great deal.
Almost brand new. I was like, just...
You enjoying it?
Oh yeah, I love it.
So what's it like? Tell us about the Peloton.
Peloton is great. There are built-in exercises. You just turn it on, and then you can travel, go to different destinations.
It's an exercise bike.
It's an exercise bike, comes with programming.
With a big, huge screen like a Tesla.
Absolutely. I mean, the seat is a little uncomfortable. Somebody told me that was a recall. But I put a big pillow on it to soften it up. So it creates some cushion, and I ride it 15, 16 miles. I usually open Netflix, watch my series, whatever programming I like to, so I get distracted. And then next thing you know, you ran, like you rode the bike for like 16 miles.
Oof.
And
So
it makes you sweat, feels good.
When's the last time you were on the Peloton?
Last night.
So last night, what were you watching?
I'm obsessed with this new series, Suits. Not new, it had been around, Suits.
Suits, yeah, I've heard of it.
I'm addicted to that. I watch it every night. I think I'm in series 4. So I think I have 4 more seasons to go. And I love Suits. I like the cast. I love Spectre Harvey. I like...
Oh, yeah. New York City's best lawyers.
Yeah, I love the legal stuff. I like the drama.
A little bit of true crime kind of feel.
It is. It is a good series. But my favorite character, you might be surprised, is actually the Louis Lit it up. I mean, I love that guy. I think I watch him just for him. I think if he lives that series, I'm probably quit watching it. So I don't know if he lives or not, but so far he's still in the series. So.
Yeah, I like listening to podcasts and sometimes watching the podcast while I'm
Who you
working out.
watch? What's your favorite podcast?
Ooh, so I listen to about 5 or 6 different hours worth of podcasts a week. So I love Your Mom's. They're all comedians. So Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and his wife Christina Pazinski. That's my favorite. He does another podcast with the comic Bert Kreischer called Two Bears, One Cave. I listen to a lot of that. And then there's a podcast called Kill Tony, which is a open mic style podcast. Mm-hmm. So it's 2 guys, but they invite comics to sign up and do 1 minute of comedy on stage. And then they do an interview with the comic after they do their 1 minute. It's in front of a live audience, and it's going on. It's been going on for about 10 years, but they moved to Joe Rogan's The Mothership, his venue in Austin, as soon as he opened up. They're there every Monday night. So it's really cool to watch a live show at Joe Rogan's club because I also listen to his podcast. Not every episode, but I pick and choose. Like Graham Hancock was a great one.
For Joe Rogan's?
Yes.
I love Joe Rogan. Huberman Labs, I watched that quite a bit. Lex Friedman.
Lex is great.
I love Lex.
He's like the smartest guy.
Patrick Bet-David, he's more of a financial guy. We are very similar in our histories. He's coming from a similar background as me, so I like watching him. He built a big insurance company, and he does a lot of interviews with a lot of interesting people. I'm looking at a lot of different podcasts these days, but I stay with the classics like Lex Friedman, Joe Rogan, whatnot. Sometimes I go with other like Jordan Peterson too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And Jacko Willink, the Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Jacko.
Jacko.
Yeah, Jocko.
Jacko
Willink. Yep.
Jacko Willink. I like that guy a lot. I cannot do everything he tells me to do. Like I cannot wake up 4 in the morning yet. But I'm working my way into it to be able to join the 4 a.m. club.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult, but one day I will reach that target.
Yeah, I really like listening to the comedy podcasts because they're either in New York or LA, and they kind of help me stay connected to the entertainment industry. And as a producer, I really feel that it helps me do better at my job by staying up to date with what's going on. So how do you stay up to date with what's going on in the medical field?
Well, I do read a lot of journals, JAMA, New England Journal of Medicine. I try to follow it. Every day I have them open on my computer, so I have subscriptions to those websites. I also read, probably not very common among doctors, but I read Wall Street Journal every day.
Really?
Every day. I mean, I have a subscription, so every day I wake up, I go through the articles. I like the lifestyle articles, like arts and sciences. I look into finance topics, glance the common news. I like the depth of their coverage. They go deep into the topics. They're a little bit biased. I'd say they're more biased to the right, but I still like it for different opinions.
Yeah, they're kind of on the fiscal side.
They're more on the fiscal side. I think there are some of their articles are biased, but you have to read both sides to make up your mind. I don't like getting my news from only one source. I like to know from different sources because the story can be spent the way they like it to be spent.
Yeah, as a journalism major at USC and an editor at the student newspaper, we all learned really quickly that you could spin a story however you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
And we all learned that, mass media in general is often untrustworthy. And it was a bit surprising to us at first, but then you realize, oh, this is just how it's been. Yellow journalism, sensationalism, it's been around since the beginning.
I mean, all the news channels, depending on what you watch, have their own agenda. Fox has their own agenda. CNN have their own agenda. MSNBC have their own agenda.
Yeah, if you want to get into conspiracies, like they're all funded by Pfizer.
Yeah, I mean,
all of them. They're getting
you need to
billions
look at where the money is
dollars.
coming from.
Yes.
You will tell the story can be spin any direction you want.
So leave a note in the comments on what you think about the major news networks. We'd like to know.
And then my patients are a huge source. I mean, my patients, they come to clinic every day. They tell me about updates in medicine, and it makes me look into it. They tell me something. I go do my research, look at the articles, come up with an answer. So a lot of my research originates from the patient's questions. And then that sometimes I don't have the answer for. I have to go and look at it because medicine is constantly evolving.
Absolutely.
What's the norm right now cannot be the norm 10 years from now. I mean, even like short course of period I practiced medicine changed a lot. Back in the day, stomach surgeries were number one surgery in this country. Now you barely do stomach surgeries for ulcers because we realized if you give certain antibiotics, you can take care of the root cause problem.
Really?
And then you don't need to have surgery. We are doing a lot of gallbladders still, unfortunately. But we also find cures. I never thought that we would be able to find a cure for hepatitis C. Now there's a cure. It's expensive, but there's a cure.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. I actually knew someone who got hepatitis C in Africa on a missions trip.
Yes.
And wow, I haven't seen them in 10 years, but I guess they're
a
doing
lot of
okay.
hepatitis C patients, now we can cure them, so that's a miracle. We made huge advances HIV treatment. I mean, we can keep those guys...
You can get it down to undetectable levels.
Oh yeah, we can keep them healthy. I mean, you have a worse life expectancy with diabetes than HIV.
Yes.
I mean, that's unbelievable. We make huge advances in virology. We are finding vaccines. Shingles we can get under control with vaccines. I think they're working for a vaccine for herpes.
Yeah, and there's a I don't know if it's a vaccine, but there's a pill you can take that keeps you from getting HIV for a period of time.
Oh yeah.
So like if you wanted to have a fun weekend, you could take the pill and not have to worry. It's wild. I had no idea.
Preventative measures, yeah. We have those pills. I mean, I hope they don't cause some promiscuous behavior whoever's taking it, but at
least you know it's out there.
We came a long way. I mean, medicine is a very different, and how we deliver medicine has changed too. Back in the day, medicine was a bunch of monopolies, and they didn't care about customer service. So medicine monopolies, in South Carolina, we have something called certificate of need. So this was a law that had good intentions when it first came up, but now it was abused by hospital systems to create monopolies. So if you're a hospital already established, say you're Lexington Medical Center, it made it very difficult for another hospital to come to your territory and compete with you, and vice versa. Now there's a huge movement to actually abolish certificate of need, and it's going to be abolished soon in South Carolina.
Really?
So it's going to create a lot of competition. It's going to bring different healthcare systems in each other's backyards and competing for the same patient population. Wherever competition is here, it's better service because they want your business. Instead of counting on your business as by default, they have to fight for it. So it's good for the consumer. Urgent Care's made it easier for access. You can come to my clinic and I can refer you to any specials you want, and I can get you in fast. That didn't exist before. You can call your primary care doctor. It might take months to get in. And it might be too late.
As a kid growing up, that's just how it was.
Yeah. Doctors just didn't have to perform to the quality standards. You can get food anywhere you want in this country, but getting a medical care is extremely difficult. So medical field were kind of old-fashioned, stayed in the Stone Ages, very reluctant to change. But unfortunately, or fortunately, the new laws, new technologies are forcing us to be much more efficient and more customer-oriented. So
I'm learning that that's affecting a lot of industries.
Absolutely,
not just medicine. That there are so many industries that we're behind, and as someone in the digital marketing space, I'm learning that there's a lot of different, commercial real estate, for example,
yes,
is much more behind than residential real estate. Those realtors are on top of it, but the commercial guys are about 10 years behind.
Commercial guys is because it's a small club, and it's a hard market to penetrate, and so commercial real estate just doesn't really care much about customer service as much as the residential ones.
But it's changing.
It is changing because it's
There's
getting
a guard
competitive.
change happening right now.
Yeah, it's getting more competitive, so they have to work for their money instead of just sit there with the listings and not do the showings. They cannot get away with that for too long. I think commercial real estate we're going to change. Also, demands change too. Like office spaces, I heard they are not doing very good.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what to do with all of this unutilized office space.
Yeah,
commercial real estate.
First, we don't need that many people to run office spaces. We learn how to get much more done with less staff during the pandemic. Also, there's a lot of remote jobs that you can work from home. You don't need to show up to an office and use the office space. So that market is changing. I see a lot of my landlords who own commercial real estate, like office spaces, they're struggling. They either have to repurpose their spaces or they have to go bankrupt. But change we're going to happen.
What's some other big changes you've seen since you've been in Lexington in particular?
Lexington, even as short course of a 5-year period I have been here, I see a lot of changes. I see a lot of people moving into the area. I see a lot of people from New York, New Jersey, California, Colorado, Oregon, Seattle moving here in droves.
Yeah, so I recently read an article. They're all pretty. You take it with a grain of salt, but it did say that South Carolina was in the top 5 worst states to live, but Texas is number 1, and Texas is my favorite state, so that tells you. But I think one of the reasons that we were ranked so low is the surrounding areas of the Midlands, the Upstate, and the Lowlands, those places that are kind of left behind that need more support. But what's interesting is even though we're ranked one of the worst states to live in, we are ranked one of the highest states where people are coming to right now. Our population is in the top 5 states of growth.
Absolutely.
We're at 5 million people in South Carolina. It feels like just yesterday we were at 3 million people.
Yeah, we are growing, and low taxes, less regulation.
Low cost of living.
Low cost of living. Houses are still relatively cheap. People are nice, I don't think people in the South gets enough credit for being nice. Compared to New York, no offense to my New Yorker friends here, but South, I lived all my life in the South. I lived in Kentucky. I lived in South Carolina. People are nice. And you only realize that when you move to a different state, that how nice we have it here, So I mean, I made my decision by just living here. Like it tells you that I could live anywhere. My family lives in Maryland. I have family everywhere in the United States, but I chose to South Carolina, even if I have no family here, because this is a great place to live, and I cannot think of living anywhere else. So I'm not going anywhere soon. So.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And also here in Lexington, we're 2 hours from the beach, and we're 2 hours from the mountains.
Absolutely.
So we're actually in a really, the only bad part of being in the Midlands is you've got the upstate, which is higher, and the lowlands, which is lower, and so the humidity sinks.
In the Midlands,
Columbia, it's hot.
It's
We're the
little
armpit.
It's little get toasty here. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. But life is good. I mean, I have friends live in California. They have to drive like an hour to get to work.
And it's only 10 minutes in the same.
Like my home to my job, 2 minutes, 3 minutes drive.
Yeah, people complain about traffic here, but I don't think they understand what Atlanta looks like.
Oh yeah, come to California.
Much less California.
Oh yeah, and the homeless population. I mean, it's just crazy. Like how much crime rates are higher, just pollution, and I mean, it's a big problem.
Air quality. You don't think about it because it's not a problem that we face.
Absolutely. I mean, we take a lot of things granted in South Carolina, but this South Carolina is a great state to live. So people, you're welcome to come to South Carolina, but please do not spoil the state. Keep it as it is. Don't try to change it. We love it here. And keep the South Carolina the way it is. Yeah,
because we're exploding in growth. It's
oh
really
yeah,
happening.
I mean, like I went to Red Bank the other day, which is 2 minutes this way, and I've seen subdivision after subdivision after. I mean, they're building a whole city there.
Yes, when I was in high school, Red Bank was an agricultural area. It was
not anymore. Not anymore.
Absolutely, now it's subdivision.
I mean, people moving in. I mean, I don't know who's buying those houses, but they're selling like hotcakes. You can't even find it. You know, you just pre-purchase it. I mean, there's a waiting list for most of them. I mean, even interest rates went up. They are still building because, I mean, you need to realize if interest rates goes up, it goes up everywhere. So, yes, it makes buying a house difficult, but it also makes buying a house in New York difficult too. So those people are like, oh, we cannot afford a house in New York anymore. Let's move to South Carolina. So it actually have an adverse effect on South Carolina. Raising interest rates actually probably fueling the population growth in South Carolina. And you need to think about it, like Charleston especially. During the 2008 crisis, it was one of the few cities didn't lose value.
Correct. Charleston's often voted one of the top cities to live in.
And the values are there to stay. I cannot see Charleston real estate taking a dip. Even if the economy goes south, we are not doing that good financially as a country. People are still moving into South Carolina, especially Charleston. So if you want to invest in real estate, Charleston is the place to be.
Yeah, there's this big battle between Charleston and Columbia. You know, Charleston always says we're better, and I agree. But I love being here.
I don't know. I kind of like Midlands, actually.
I do too.
I don't mind.
I've grown to love it.
Charleston, has on its own beauty. I mean, it's a beautiful city. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of like Lexington too.
Absolutely, it's bigger. We have much more room to move around.
Yeah, we can grow here. Charleston is kind of limited with their expansion.
Yes.
We are not.
And Lexington's the largest county in South Carolina, landmass wise, and it's the highest populated county in South Carolina.
It's the highest populated county, and it's doing well. I mean, we have new businesses moving into town. The electric car company coming to Blythewood.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to create hundreds of jobs. And there are a lot of smaller companies are moving it. Are you looking at?
Yeah.
I think it was going to create 600 jobs. I forget the name of the company, but they're like affiliated with Scout Motors. Yeah, they're with Volkswagen actually.
Yeah, wow, they just merged with Volkswagen. That's incredible. I had no idea.
So it's going to be a big employer, and I think plans already laid out.
4,000 jobs.
4,000 jobs.
$2 billion. Okay, so we're going to ask if anybody knows anyone that's a part of the development of the Scout plant. Please reach out to us. We'd love to talk to them on the podcast.
Yeah, we want to know more about it. We are very curious what will be the economic impact to our community in Midlands, because we want to be ready, guys, for you when you come move to Lexington also, because I'm sure some people work in the factory want to live in Lexington.
Absolutely.
Not just Blythewood. So we would like to know more about it, so please let us know. And I think there are other smaller companies moving to the area too. I mean, you'd be surprised.
It was a big deal when Boeing moved to Charleston. That was huge. And then you've always had BMW in Greenville, but we've never had anything big here in Columbia, and that's it right there.
I mean, big companies like Scout Motors, they grab the headlines, get all the media attention. But there are companies that I know one food company, I won't give the name, but they are increasing their employment 2-3 folds. I think they have like 200-300 employees right now. I think they're going to go up to 1,000 employees.
Wow.
And
Lexington does have Michelin. I don't want to leave them out.
Michelin, Prysmian, the cable company. We have Sorinex. I mean, we have tons of stuff going on in here. U.S. Food Distribution Center. I mean, we have some industry here too.
So if you know anyone in any of those businesses, we'd love to talk to them as well.
Of course.
Let's put an open call to people who are interested in the growth of Lexington. If your business is a part of that, reach out to us.
Yeah, we would like to introduce you to Lexington community. We would like to talk about your business, how it's going to impact us as a community here. We want to be in partnership. We want to know more about you, and we want to here to support you to make us a better community and bring more resources to our community here.
What would you like to see in Lexington?
I have some dreams. I put them on social media. I like ethnic food.
Me too. It's my favorite.
I want an Indian restaurant. I want a Turkish restaurant. I want
a Vietnamese restaurant.
I want a Vietnamese restaurant. Yep. I want pho.
Pho all day, please.
I want pho, please. We want some ethnic food in the Lexington area. I mean, we already have great selection, but we can always use more.
I want a Thai restaurant. I love Bodhi, but I want another one.
Yeah, Bodhi is great. Shout out to Bodhi. You guys are amazing.
I've been to Thailand. I spent a month there, and it's one of the few places in Colombia that everything I try, whether it's a drink or a dish, it takes me back. And you don't get that at other Thai restaurants in town. I
mean, Bodhi Thai is one of the best. I mean, I took my parents there, and they're picky eaters. I mean, they don't like restaurant food. But oh boy, my mom, my dad was so impressed by Bodhi Thai. The only problem I have with Bodhi, and I'm going to tell them,
let's talk about
is a little pricey.
Yeah, so
they deserve it, they're worth it, but
it's considered fine dining, and so you got to pay for that because you got this chef that's trained. But you go at lunch, the prices are cut in half. It's the same food.
It's the same.
Go at lunch.
I never been there during lunch.
I'm going there to lunch tomorrow.
Okay, hey guys, so here's a huge tip. Go to Bodhi Thai for lunch. Cheaper prices, same food.
Exact same food.
Unforgettable food. I mean, that place blew my mind. I don't know. I can't even believe that they exist in Lexington. I mean, such a high quality, high caliber restaurant. But, we need cheaper Thai restaurants too. Cheaper options too, like for common people who don't want to spend three figures.
Yeah, we need a budget option.
Yeah, we want budget options,
Yeah, we can't spend $30 on an entree all the time.
Yeah, not every day. I want to eat your food every day, but I want cheaper options so I can afford to eat it every day. We cannot do it like every day, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would love a banh mi shop. There's 2 banh mi shops that open in downtown Columbia. Neither one of them are that great. I'm saying it right now.
Yeah, open some good restaurant. I want a Turkish restaurant in Lexington.
So what type of Turkish food, or where can you get? Is there a good Turkish restaurant somewhere in the Midlands?
Nope.
I thought that was correct.
One of my friends owned a Mediterranean restaurant in downtown, Green Olive, behind the State House. That's a pretty good restaurant. But like authentic Turkish food, I have to go all the way to Atlanta to eat it.
Really?
And Charlotte has some few spots.
Well, to get a good banh mi, you got to go to Atlanta or Charlotte.
Oh yeah. I think I have banh mi in New York City.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
I think I'm going to I'm saying it now. I'm going to make a video about a banh mi is a Vietnamese sandwich. It's just a French bread with, you could do chicken, pork, cold cuts, pate, and no one in Colombia has done it right. I think I'm going to do a video trying all the banh mi's in Colombia, and then I'm going to make one. And I'm going to take it to a Vietnamese family, and I'm not going to tell them whose is whose. I'm just going to say, try these banh mi's and tell me what's best, and I hope they pick mine. I think they will.
Man, why we are talking about food, man? I'm getting hungry now. I want some good pad thai now. Oh, it's not fair. But I love Vietnamese food. I trained in Buffalo, New York, and there was this small Vietnamese restaurant right by my clinic. Man, I went there every other day probably. Like, they knew what I ordered. Like, I entered, they don't even bring me menus. They will literally bring me my food. I would not even have to ask for it because they knew what I ordered. I was there every other day. I was there most royal, and I missed that food.
Pho is amazing.
Pho is good, especially when you have a cold. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that stuff will bring you back to life.
It's my favorite food. If I could eat anything forever, that would be it.
I mean, I get my Sunday rituals to go Costco, and I go to Pho Viet.
Yeah. Which one, in 5 Points or on Decker?
The one in 5 Points. I
Yes.
never tried the one on Decker, but
It's
I go
not
to
as
the.
good, yeah.
So the 5 Points is better.
Correct.
Good.
Yeah, and the service is better.
Okay.
If you're the owner of 5 Points or the Pho Viet on Decker, let's talk. Let's improve your service.
Yeah, but the Pho Viet in 5 Points, nice food.
It's good. It's not expensive.
It's cheap.
Exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
There's no bells or whistles, but it's delicious. I love it.
It's pretty decent at that price point. It's a very good product. I wish they open one in Lexington. I will promote your business. I will keep you busy. I really like. How about what you think about the ramen place right by my clinic, Hokkaido?
It's just okay.
It's good. I like it. It's a little pricey.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good product. I like their spicy beef.
I've only went once, so I need to try it more.
I like their food. Their food is okay. I mean, they're better than having no ramen place, but
Yes.
it's
It's all about the broth to me.
its broth is pretty decent.
And at the Pho Viet, they cook their broth for 14 hours. I mean, it's made with love.
Yeah, Pho Viet is nice.
And so I don't think the guys next door are cooking their
How about
broth.
tacos? Where you go for your taco fix?
All right, guys. Now you're talking my love language. So
I love
tried-
tacos too.
I've tried a lot of tacos. Okay. And Tacos Naharit on Percival Road in
Naharit.
the Northeast. So they're building one on Lake Murray Boulevard in Irmo. I'm so excited. But I can just tell that it is made with love. It's so good there. And these other places, like I'm going to get some hate from this. I will not eat at San Jose. I'm not going to go there. It's not the type of Tex-Mex I'm looking for. I prefer real, authentic Mexican food that's made for Hispanic folks to eat, not necessarily the white people.
Well, San Jose?
Yeah, that's what it's for.
I mean, that means they're authentic, so that's not necessarily a bad
Oh
thing.
no, they're not authentic.
They're not?
San Jose. Yeah, it's just a bunch of cheese on everything. It's really
Ah,
bland.
they're
But it's one of the
Americanized.
most popular restaurants in Lexington, so we're going to get some hate for it.
Well, my favorite restaurants are Brothers and Beer is pretty good because it's so convenient right behind my clinic. El Jimador.
Yeah, El Jimador is a good one.
Francisco is the owner. Shout out to you. You have some great product.
Yeah, Jalisco's on San
Jalisco
Andrews
is.
Road.
I never been to Jalisco. So is
Oh,
it
that's a
good?
real good one, made with love. I love a whole fried fish. It's one of my favorite foods.
There's one of my favorite spots is Sierra Mares.
Yeah.
Sierra Mares is a unique. It's not your typical Mexican restaurant.
It's
It's
a
actually
seafood spot.
seafood based.
Yes.
So their seafood is really good. It's right by the flea market, so you can easily miss it, but it's a great spot. And they have live music. They bring mariachi and
Yeah.
band. So it's very festive. So if you
Yes.
want to have a good time,
Seven Mares.
Sierra Mares, Seven Mares is
Yeah.
right by the flea market. Which one? Which
It's right by the Barnyard
Flea Market.
in the shopping center right there.
So in the shopping center right next to the flea market. It's a great spot.
So you guys want to know the number one place? I'm about to blow it up. The US1 flea market, not the Barnyard, but the US1 Metro flea market is Colombia's Little Mexico. I'm going to make a video about it. I haven't done it yet. And this is a place where all the Hispanic community of Lexington, West Columbia, Ridgeland, all of the Midlands, they go there. They're open on Wednesdays and Saturdays and Sundays. And there's about, no lie, 5 or 6 taco trucks there. There are multiple shaved ice spots where you can get like a spicy
So
pineapple.
is it a
shaved
particular
ice.
truck or all of them are good?
All of them are good. And then there's this one truck that sells nothing but pupusas.
Oh, I love
And it's
pupusas.
amazing. I could eat pupusas all day long. and they're so good. It's a green truck. It's awesome. And literally some of the best Mexican food in all of the Midlands is at the US 1 Metro Flea Market. You can only go there on Saturdays and Sundays. And you can get an $8. I got this cell phone cover there. It was $8. You know, it's fun to walk around. A lot of people don't enjoy that. But to me, it's all about an experience. And I love the more experience I can have with my food, the more adventure, the better. But I feel like we're adventurous eaters compared to.
I eat anything.
Same.
I eat any food except Polish food. I'm sorry to my Polish friends,
You
but
don't want some pierogies?
I cannot do pierogies, man. I don't know. Something about their sausage, I just cannot do it. But, you know, maybe I had a bad experience. Maybe I'm traumatized. Maybe I need to try again. But, you know, Asian food, especially, Vietnamese food, Thai food, my favorite. I like the food from Myanmar, Burma.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have a single restaurant specialized. I tried it in Buffalo. It's a very unique cuisine. If you try that, you're going to fall in love.
Yeah, I went to the border of Thailand and Myanmar.
Oh, you've been there personally. Yeah, you even tasted an original location, huh?
Yes, yeah.
I've been to China for a month.
What was China like?
I tell you what Chinese food you eat here is not Chinese food. It's made for Americans.
Correct.
Chinese don't eat that stuff.
Yeah, the only place, there's a couple, but Sunming is a
Sunming is, yes, original Chinese food in Irmo, right?
Correct, yeah. The first 3 pages are normal American Chinese food, and then the last 3 pages are traditional Chinese food. That's the good stuff, the back of the menu.
Sunming is where you go for Chinese food. I mean, anything else is just good for Christmas Day. Subpar. I mean, Chinese food, you know, Chinese don't eat sugar that much. They don't consume meat that much, you know, very small quantities.
Lots of rice, lots of fish, lots of
a lot of vegetables. But so they they change their cuisine based on the American taste. So finding authentic Chinese food is very hard because there's not enough population to support authentic Chinese restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I stayed in China for a month in 2011, so like 12 years ago, I was in China, and I was impressed by how many vegetables they consume and how healthy is their diet. Mm-hmm. So don't judge them by what they sell here in Chinese restaurant. This is just
it's
American food. It's not Chinese food. It's you'll be surprised. You know, it's so. They don't even eat it themselves. I mean, I asked the chefs in the Chinese restaurant, do you eat the food? I said, no. They cook their own separate food in the back, which is not on the menu. And you'll be surprised. They don't touch the food they sell.
I'm going to set the camera. You can keep telling us.
But, you know, it's great food. But I really, really want good Mediterranean restaurant. Unfortunately, we have some good. Mediterranean cafe is very good. But I want a real gyro. Like not the ready, like pre-prepared fake one.
Stacked on top of itself,
yes,
and then roasted on the spit.
I mean, nobody does that here anymore because it's so labor intensive. Correct. And you know, if you do it, it will be so expensive. So people kind of avoid that. But that's the authentic way of doing it. I grew up in Turkey. I'm biased. I ate the best food there. I mean, oh God! You eat that food once in your life, you will be very, very happy man or happy woman.
Well, now you're making me hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm salivating here. I need to go grab some dinner now.
All right. Well, thank everyone so much for watching this latest podcast. Actually, I'm gonna make an edit right there.
Okay. Take care.
Thank everyone so much for watching episode 6 of this podcast with Dr. Hatemi. If you guys want to know more about any of the things we talked about, don't be afraid to tell us in the comments. Send us a message. Reach out if you know someone who's helping grow Lexington and might be interested in being on the podcast. Thanks so much, Dr. Hatemi.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.